Okay, so a seamless transition. Welcome Ben Youngs to the top table. If I could take the first question, please. Yeah, Steve, go ahead.
Ben, just a general thought. Do you think the postponed game, or the cancelled game rather, and the 2-week break is going to help you, or do you think it's hindered your preparations?
Well, we'll see, but we've certainly been able to obviously get our teeth into Australia a lot earlier in terms of the patterns we want to play, looking at them, footage, in terms of going to Miyazaki, allowed us to do that. And like I say, really, we've just had a longer preparation. We trained very hard on Saturday, just gone, and tried to make it very game related. So we feel like we've had a good hit out. We certainly feel fresh and we feel ready to go.
Ben, final training session done. I'm just wondering what the message was from Owen and Eddie to the group.
Yeah, we just spoke about how good our prep's been. And just basically make sure that we go out there and we take the game to them. We get ourselves on the front foot, and we come out with an intensity that marries up with our preparation. So that's been the message, and I certainly feel like we've built nicely towards the game, and all that sort of waiting's over now. And like Eddie and Faz have said, really, just go out there now and bring an intensity and take the game to them.
Okay, just second row here.
NHK の大室と申します。今日会場がすごく湿度が高いと思うんですけど、明日もおそらくこのような天候になると思いますが、それに対してどういうふうに対処していきたいというのはありますか?
Yes, so we're anticipating the humidity will be high. Luckily, getting pretty used to it now. Kobe was probably as hard as it will get, I hope. But look, the team's been prepping. We spent mini camps in Treviso. It's been part of our preparation, so we're more than capable to deal with that.
Thanks. Yeah. Okay, we'll come in front after. Thanks.
Ben, you're one of only 3 starters to have played in a World Cup quarterfinal. Can you just talk a little bit about what it's like as an occasion, experience the pressure, and have you spoken to some of your teammates who haven't played about what to expect and how to deal with it?
Yeah, look, it's a fantastic occasion. I was fortunate enough to play in 2011 and won. I suppose my experience of that is just making sure the intensity of the game doesn't shock you at the beginning. France that day raced into a lead and we couldn't claw ourselves back. So I suppose it comes on to what I was saying to Gav, just make sure that we come out the blocks, and what Owen and Eddie have been saying is bring that intensity from the start. I'm sure that they'll be saying the same thing. So I imagine the first 20 minutes will be pretty full on. And we've got to make sure that we get off to the start that we want.
Just pause for a second there to bring in John Mitchell to join the table. Thanks, John. Just take a seat in the middle there.
Yes, Mitch. Hey, buddy.
Okay, so we'll take questions for both. I think here was the next one.
Yeah. Hi, Ben. Over here, right wing, or left wing. Does it make any difference to you personally in your game who's playing 10, or is it exactly the same processes?
No, exactly the same process. So I've been fortunate to play with both of them and had a lot of game time with both of them. They're both outstanding players. No, for me, it doesn't make a difference. We're very blessed to have 2 outstanding players fighting that one position, and I think it brings out the best in both of them. So for me, it's got to make sure that my service is good and give those boys time on the ball.
Okay. Dan, can you just raise your hand? Yeah, thanks. Here. Thank you. And then the next one here.
Ben, after what happened in 2011 and last time in 15, do you feel that you sort of owe it to England's fans and to yourselves when it comes to World Cups that you've underperformed and you have to reach your first semi-final this time? It'll be the first time in 12 years if you do it.
I feel more for myself and for the team and the guys who are involved, but Sometimes do you underperform or were you just beaten by the better team? So it depends how you look at it. We clearly weren't good enough in 11 or 15. But certainly in 19 I feel like we're more than capable. I feel like the squad is more than capable of achieving something. So from that point of view, like I said beforehand, we've got to make sure that when we take the field, we're relaxed, we're clear thinking, and we go out there and we put our best foot forward. And that's the only thing that I'm focused on.
Just here. Thanks.
Ben, Eddie said that you guys are going to have to be like samurai soldiers and fight to the death. How important is it that you leave everything out there tomorrow? Obviously, don't die, but
Be a lot easier if I had a samurai sword, but yeah, it goes without saying, doesn't it? Look, everyone that's involved in a quarter-final, it's all this preparation. We've been in camp since June. You're not going to go out there and accept whatever's being thrown your way. You're going to fight right to the end. And we've got some boys in this team that don't know when they're beat, and I'm sure that it goes without saying for any team that's participating this weekend, they'll fight to the very end.
Just one other as well. So what Matt Tamur said yesterday? Said
I did. He's very happy with himself because he sent me the video clip.
Any response?
He's not far wrong with some of it. 40's never brought him a pint because he's normally smoke bombed by that point or too drunk that he's actually left the building. And I thought it was quite ironic. He knows what it's like to play second fiddle, especially being married to Elise Perry. So I feel for him. He knows my pain.
Okay, we'll come at the front row here. Next one at the back.
Just to describe, you kind of guys are locked away in a bit of a bubble, as all teams are quite rightly at the World Cup. But are you aware of the support back home that's now sort of bubbling and building? And does that sort of translate through to you in camp?
Yeah, definitely. We certainly feed off that, the interaction with the fans and the messages of support that we get and we see. Obviously, social media is huge for that. You can see that. We're fully aware of that, and that spurs the team on for sure. It's great, that so many people will be tuning in tomorrow, up early wearing the shirt, be very proud, and we know that support's there, and that only helps the belief within the side and wanting to do well. So yeah, it's fantastic.
Okay. Just here. Yeah.
Hi, John. Two-part question, if I may. Has it felt like 16 years since you last prepared for a knockout World Cup game? And if, in the same vein, are you looking back on 03 for any learnings just to do with the personal experience of preparing for a knockout stage?
I think all that matters really, going back on that, is that it brings you experience. I guess it's totally irrelevant to us as a group. What we're really focusing on is now, and that's all that matters.
ヤングさんに、伺います。2015年のオーストラリアとの対決では、ホスト国として非常に悔しい思いをしたと思うんですけど、そこからイングランド代表がどのように進化したか、そして今回のそのオーストラリアとの対決で、勝つ自信、がどのくらいあるかっていうのをちょっと教えてください。
Yeah, sure. I think, obviously, if you compare it to 2015, it's very different. New coaching staff. We've gone on a different journey under Eddie. We've played them a fair few times since then. So for us, it's each to players. If they want to use that for motivation, that's fine. It's whatever gets the best out of them tomorrow. But for us, what's happened in the past, what's happened between now and then, it's irrelevant. It's just a one-off game. And we're prepping to bring out the best in us tomorrow. And I feel like we've done that pretty well in terms of preparation this week. So it's just about going out there and showcasing that. And I feel like the squad is in the right place to do that.
Thank you. Front row here.
John, were you expecting the change in the Aussie midfield, and just how much have you been able to study a 19-year-old who's only made his debut 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, Pater, he's got an extraordinary skill set. We're well aware of that. He's tall. He's got good footwork. He's got an offload. So he is a dangerous athlete in that sense. But it'd be unthoughtful of us, I think, to put all our energies and focus on a teenager and one player. Ultimately, end of the day, collectively they have a very much an attacking game, and their selection is very much based around attack. Clearly, the midfield will have the ability to be direct, and they have also in their mix the ability to distribute as well. So we're ready for all of that, and we're looking forward to it.
Here in the fourth row, 1 and then 2.
John, Eddie says he wants England to defend with brutality. Can you talk us through what that means and why it's so important against Australia specifically?
Oh, we enjoy defence. It's a big part of our game. We also it's infectious to us. It gives us energy, and I guess there's a number of ways that you can describe being physical. But ultimately, yeah, we like to be physical as well. So it's important to dominate the collision. That creates slowness in ball, and it brings opportunities. Ultimately, defence is a form of attack, and you've got to feed your attack.
John, the Wallabies have kind of chopped and changed their selections a lot through the tournament. They talk a lot about unpredictable footy and that sort of thing. Does that make it more difficult, I guess, to get a bit of a read on what they're doing, or do you think you've seen enough kind of consistent threads to get that read?
Yeah, they do come with so many more threats, and because they are clever and they enjoy playing with width, it certainly makes everyone in our team having to be aware and clearly looking up and communicating and bringing that energy from the inside is going to be extremely critical to us. But that's something that we've prepared really well for. It's something that's not new to us. It's something that we really pride ourselves on. I guess the one ingredient that you put aside, the fact of being physical in the collision, we just got to work really, really hard for each other.
Raise your hand. Yeah, thanks.
John, one of the deciding factors tomorrow is going to be who makes the better decisions under pressure. Is that the sort of thing that you can coach, decision making under extreme pressure, or is it the sort of thing you only really find out once you send them out there?
A lot of these guys are extraordinary test players because they make good decisions under pressure, but ultimately in any test match there's always additional pressure, and in the context of this fixture there'll be lots of pressure, and good decision making under pressure, yeah, definitely it will be critical. But ultimately, end of the day, it's about us initiating pressure as well. So, we'll get our chance to create pressure, as will they. So, yeah, really will come down to who handles those big moments, those situations better.
Okay, just last few questions at the back of the room. If you have a question, please raise your hand high. Yeah, there. Thanks.
ベン選手に質問があります。今回のワールドカップのイングランド国内ではどういうふうに盛り上がってたりとか、なんかどういうふうに受け止められているかっていうのがあれば教えてください。
Yeah, back home the expectation is the same as it always is when you take the field. Is to win and put it all out on the pitch. And tomorrow will be no different. It's no different every time we've taken the pitch as an England player. You go out there to win, you go out there to perform and put it all out. So tomorrow will be no different.
Yeah. 日経新聞の接待と申します。ミッチェルさんへ。今回ファレル選手が12番でなくて10番で使われることについて、エディさんはその理由を教えてくれませんでしたけども、ミッチェルさんはどうしてということを教えてもらえましたでしょうか。
Yeah, I think Eddie's very much gone horses for courses. We're very fortunate to have two extraordinary fly halves. We have a particular way that we obviously want to play against Australia, and George will also play a major role in the way that we play as well. So yeah, at this level, it's always a tough decision on what decisions you make around players. We're just very, very fortunate to have two extraordinary fly halves, and we can play two different ways if we need to.
Take one more question after this one.
Another question for John. Just on the role in general, there was, of course, a lot of intrigue when you were appointed the defence coach with your experience as head coach, director of rugby elsewhere. What's it been about the environment and maybe the relationship with Eddie that's, you know, let you flourish or enjoy the role the way you have?
Yeah, firstly, it's a great opportunity to be back at the highest level. Secondly, it's back with England, where 20 years ago was my apprenticeship. So it sits well with me. It's something I'm comfortable with, something that I'm emotionally connected to. And yeah, the great thing about the job, it's not about you. It's about how you work through your players. And we just got a really good way about how we go about things and the way that we talk about and how we arrive at strategy and plans in our defence, and we keep it nice and simple. We just try and free up the guys to go and give it their best shot collectively on a weekend. And we understand the principles very well, and we understand the attitudes and the work rate that we need to bring to make it a successful day.
Last question. I think we're all done. Thank you very much, guys. You just leave those there, Ben.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Pleasure.
Very
Thank you
much.
very much.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Take care. Is that your top, John? Yeah. All right. Cheers. I'll take care of that. Thanks very much. Thank you. Cheers. All the best.